We're here with the finals for the 2v2 tournament. And that's going to be Team JD, which is Jay and Darth, versus Team SoCoopy, which is So Lucky and DeCoops. Now, currently, in terms of picks, it is Team JD bans Tori. Jay's going to be playing on Justin, and Darth is going to be playing Levka. Meanwhile, for SoCoopy side, we've got Lucky playing Jackie, and we've got DeCoops playing Violet. Now, Mr. Freeze, these upcoming games are going to be amazing to see, but who would you bet is going to take the series?
Based on the round robin play and the seeding, I got to go with Jay and Darth, but I think it still will be close. And last time these two players played, who won in the round robin?
So, Team JD didn't lose a single match during the round robin stage. However, SoCoopy did pretty well. I think they brought into a few overtimes. It still ended with 3-0, but it wasn't a one-sided sweep at all.
Yeah, I don't think, if I have to make a prediction here, I don't think it'll be a sweep. I think that, first of all, Coops and Lucky, they both are technically warm, just coming off of this past game they just played, whereas Jay and Darth have been waiting for a little while. So that might play in a little bit, just as far as being prepared goes. I think that So Lucky and Coops will take at least one game, if not two, off of them.
I think I gotta agree with that too. I want to bet, if I had to bet, it's gonna end on game number 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went to best of 5 or the game 5.
I think game 4 is a pretty safe bet.
Now, Team JD is still looking pretty strong. They're able to already take down So Lucky. DeCoops is able to stay alive a little bit longer. Not able to finish the job, but quite close, as both members on each team are going to stare each other down right on top of the point loop number 1. Loop number 2. So Lucky already trying to pre-fire across the map, trying to take down whoever he can. Fly Hacker J is just going to play around over the center point. He just spot out So Lucky's Clone 1, Clone 2, but he's getting immediately fired by DeCoops over on the side. And DeCoops, with pretty good positioning, is going to be able to take down Darth, but just barely survives on top of the point loop number 2.
Looks like all clones are on point here. They all pretty much desynced, but we're not going to have any straggler clones just off point here. So if any of those survive, they will contest point.
DeCoops looking strong in this upcoming round. He is trying to take down Jay from across the map here, but he's also trying to provide as much support as he can for So Lucky. He opts for providing that support, trying to take down Darth, who is a very key person to take down. But meanwhile, DeCoops is getting heavily fired on upon Jay, and Jay is able to save the day for his homeboy Darth as they get the first point.
Jay was flying home on this 3-up here while Darth moved over to the health pack cubby. And we saw DeCoops and So Lucky are actually playing the same side here. I think that's a good play. They can kind of put more pressure on just one opponent, but whenever they both do move to the same side, rotate to kind of maybe pressure Darth a little bit, Jay comes in, and both Darth and Jay end up taking out one clone each from red team. So some good teamwork there, and they took that point by a decent amount. They had a lot of clones on.
And I gotta say, that's pretty good awareness from Jay too. He came into, as soon as he saw DeCoops jump down, he went for the follow, and then played on a sort of flank that kind of caught them both off guard.
Yeah, he just jumped in to support Darth. Darth, I believe, was the one who took out So Lucky, and Jay was the one who took out DeCoops.
I mean, if anything, Jay could also play. Oh, you still haven't seen it yet, Mr. Freeze. The reason why Fly Hacker Jay's name is as it is because he jumps off of yellow barricades and he goes flying across the map.
Oh, I think I have seen that, where he jumps on the barricade and he shoots it with a shotgun and it, like, flips him.
Yeah, but what looks weird is on the next loop after that, if you shoot the barricade, he still flies, but without the barricade.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And to explain for all those newer players, it's because the game records what they did throughout time, and that stays solid. But whether they stay synced or desynced is a different story. Now, who's going to stay desynced and synced around right now? DeCoops does get desynced. Jay spots out So Lucky, is able to desync him as well. And now they just need to clear that last clone, and the whack to the face is going to clear it. That's the second point coming in for Team JD.
It was a little close. I thought that was going to go into overtime there. They're barely able to clean up the last final point here, or the last final clone for the point. And I don't see really anything that Decoups and Select are really doing wrong here. They're just getting kind of beaten out a little bit by the fights they're taking. But I don't think that's something that they can't clean up and they can't turn around.
They've definitely been playing very steadily, very safe. So Lucky has been playing very aggressively, where he'll race towards that health pack, and So Lucky is the fastest one in this game currently, so he should have the advantage. They just aren't able to capitalize on it as much.
I think that is true. I think he probably is the fastest here. I mean, I wouldn't count out these other players to really beat him, but he is. I mean, is historically what we've seen. I feel like he is consistently faster than the other three.
I would definitely love to see just a platform map where this obstacle course where all these players can just play out at the same time and race to the finish to see who wins.
A race mode, yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Darth is a sole survivor here in his clone 2 on point with half HP left.
With that half HP, he probably won't live for that much longer. But if he's able to and clear the point, that's going to mean the first game going in favor of Team JD. The Decoups are already playing defensively, tries to spot out Darth. Darth gets taken down, and that health pack going to get picked up from Decoups. The health pack back at JD's base is still alive. Darth is going to be able to pick it up. 3 seconds left in the clock. He's going to make his push, and he's still alive. And now that's going to be the last point coming in for Team JD. And we're going to game number 2 with that advantage.
That health pack at the end there was really big. Decoups actually spotted out Darth right as he took that health pack and started firing at him, but he couldn't quite secure the kill. Got Darth down super low. If he had killed him earlier, killed him a little bit faster, and actually just won that gunfight, he might have been able to turn and then help take down Jay here, even though So Lucky was out of the play by that time. It's hard to say.
The Decoups definitely knew he was going to come out of there. He's been jumping out. Whenever he gets desynced at the final loop, he basically just beelines for that back health pack at home and then just comes out of there. And these players are starting to pick up on trends and tactics that these players do.
Yeah, well, we saw So Lucky do that previously too. It's just, I think it's definitely a standard thing that you can expect, but when exactly they're going to take that health pack is hard to say. You almost have to wait, and then at that point you got a little bit of a disadvantage because they can pre-fire you before they take the health pack. You can't necessarily beat them there and go far out of position for it, you know. So it's a little bit hard to play against.
And so we'll be right back as we go into the next game of Team JD versus So Koopy in the finals. game number 2 about to start here. So Koopy versus Team JD. With Team JD already taking game 1 under their belt, they need 2 more to win the finals of the 2v2 tournament. Now, right now, So Koopy does have the first ban, and it's going to be Bjarn in this case. Now, it's very strange because a lot of these players have mutually decided to not play Bjarn, but it seems as they move on to the Gauntlet stage and the stakes are a little bit higher, all bets are off as Bjarn could still be on the table. Now, right now, Lucky is going to play Levka, Koops is going to play Violet, Darth is going to play Tori, and Jay is going to play Justin. Now, Mr. Freeze, will we see a possible repeat of the last game here, or is something going to be a little bit different?
I think that's hard to say. I mean, the ban on Bajarn means that it kind of opens up a little bit more for more of the meta characters to come out, like Violet and Tor in the same game here. Whereas typically you're only seeing one, and Jackie ends up getting picked up just as a last default choice here. So will be interesting. Violet versus Tor, one on each side. Violet maybe be able to put out a little bit more DPS, Tor absorb a little bit more, maybe even things out. Hard to say though. I think it's going to be hard for, based off last game, Koops and So Lucky to win this one, but I don't know. I think they'll be able to do it. They just need to win a couple more gunfights, and especially with Darth just being on the field, someone needs to be a hard counter on him. Maybe Violet can do that.
Yeah, definitely. Violet has that potential and all out firepower. Justin would be the next best thing, but I mean, landing those pre-fire shots is incredibly difficult in a 2v2, except when you're on point though.
Yeah, it is hard. That said, the Darth does usually like to play the same sort of strats, so maybe they can use that to their advantage. Or actually, now Justin is on Darth's team, but typically, in general, maybe use that to advantage to put some maybe pre-fire grenade launcher shots down from Violet, perhaps.
So Lucky is going to push his pressure over onto center point here. He does get taken down, leaving Darth and Jay to clean up the point. And that's going to be... Actually, did Jay make it? I don't think he did.
If he didn't, he was really close.
Yeah. Extremely close here. Won't cut it. But we're going to see Decoops. He's going to play defensively again. He spots out Jay and takes him down. Now Jay is forced to pick up the health pack nice and early. Meanwhile, So Koopy still has the health pack back at their home base. Meanwhile, over in the center point, Darth is pushing his pressure. He's going to make his push as well here, and that's going to be a point for Team JD with the overwhelming 4 clones, or 3 clones, because Jay missed that last one on top of the point.
We see Decoops pretty often. He actually plays. He'll either play home base or he'll play to the side and pretty much use this one big middle barrier as cover. And that's what he does right here. And you see Jay actually jumps over and just immediately takes him out. He saw him go into cover there. He knows exactly where he is. And when he did that jump peek there, I don't think Decoops was quite expecting that. And he just gets taken out really quickly. Good push by Jay. And I didn't see how Soloki got taken out, but that kind of solidifies their point game for the first round here.
Darth's going to get chunked and taken down here. Jay as well as the Koops and So Lucky just 2v1 Jay at the very end right after taking Darth, giving them that first loop advantage with the Koops having full HP.
Yeah, Soloki only had 1 shot taken too there. I'm not sure if he took any shots before he took that health pack.
And we'll see if the pre-fire or shield absorption from Tori is going to do any significance on this next upcoming loose. But Darth getting ganged up on again. The Koops coming in with a surprise play over from the top side closest to the point. And that's going to be 4 clones on top of the point for So Koopy. They're looking strong coming into this next round.
Yeah, that is the momentum they need for round 3. They just need to hold this here, protect their clone 2s.
Now, if Darth is able to make it towards the point here, he doesn't. No, he did actually take it, but he got taken down by the Koops, who also followed him on the side. Now, Darth is not going to be able to rush back onto his home base. As Jay picked up the health pack, Jay's going to try to make his play, try to get on top of the point. He gets taken down, and that's So Koopy with the overwhelming victory on that first point.
Momentum really played a a hand here at the very end. And actually, as we see, Darth gets pushed up, and we see, I think it was three clone threes just immediately dead right in a row there. All get desynced, and then Jay's the last one around. There is a resync from So Lucky though, and So Lucky was able to take out Jay there. But yeah, the momentum, there's just too many heads to hit for Jay, even though he did survive.
I think even if Jay or So Lucky didn't resync back in with that health pack, there would not have been enough firepower for Jay to clear up all 3 clones.
Yeah, I think it would have just been an OT push at that point. He would have been not in the best position on point there with his 3.
And I guess that's the advantage you carry, just like you've been saying, Mr. Freeze. They played their loop 1 so well, they played loop number 2 so well, and that it's just so much more difficult to counteract that play in loop number 3.
Yeah, for sure. The momentum strategy is present in 1v1s, but I think it's more present in 2v2s just because the number of clones and bodies and just amount of HP that you can essentially put on the point there that has to be cleared off by the opposing team. So yeah, especially in 2v2s, loop 1 and loop 2 I think matter a lot more than in 1v1s. Maybe not a lot more, but they do have a little bit more weight to them.
Now, I think there's an invisibility strat coming in for Team JD. I don't know if, I think that was Jay that was kind of running it suddenly. But Levka pick on So Lucky might be able to spot that and counterplay it. We'll see how they play it out here. But Jay already going to get desynced here. He still has the health pack to come back into the action. So Lucky and the Coops are looking pretty healthy on top of the point. But no, there was no health pack. That's going to be the second point for So Koopy.
This is the turnaround that they need if they want to take this series. The first game that we saw against these 2 players heavily favored JD. They took all 3, swept them, and it didn't look like Decoups and So Lucky had too much control in the field. Generally, for the most part, there were some close moments there. This time around, at least these last 2 rounds, it's looking like the complete opposite. Decoups and So Lucky really have point control here at the end, overwhelmingly so with a lot of clones. I think that's just going to the fact that they're winning their loop 1, loop 2 battles.
And I think the team So Koopy is just, they're pulling themselves together a lot, and they're making the exact plays they need to make to try to counteract this game and win it in their favor. However, not in this particular loop, as Jay is the sole survivor, loop number 1.
I mean, that said, So Lucky and Decoups actually both peeked Dart from 2 different angles, basically simultaneously. I think that kind of, I bet you that was some sort of comms going on there to double team Darth, and they ended up taking out Darth. But yeah, Jay did clean up afterwards.
Decoups peeking out a little bit, taking some immediate heavy fire from Darth. However, So Lucky is there to back Decoups up and take down Darth. But at the same time, Decoups does get taken down. Now it's a one-on-one battle as both So Lucky and Jay are trying to fire into each other, but Decoups Clone 1 gets in the way, blocks that last shot from So Lucky, and neither player are able to finish it loop number 2.
Jay was doing a really good job of playing body block, and Decoups' 1 there.
I like how Decoups 1 just casually walks in here, but speaking of Decoups, he gets beamed a little bit here, not quite out just yet, but the center health pack is going to get taken down. That's already So Lucky getting taken down. Now Jay is going to pick up the health pack back at home base. Darth is going to get taken down. Now it's up to Decoups versus Jay. Who's going to be able to win it? Decoups is brought down pretty low, but Decoups able to finish it and get the game win. The amount of corks that are going to go out to whoever voted for them is going to be huge, I bet.
Darth's 3 actually got this, the final shot on him at least was a pre-fire from Decoups' 1. You see, as he's coming up on ramp here, he actually gets pre-fired because Decoups' 1 was actually firing at Darth's 1. Those 2 clones were just playing next to each other, and Decoups' 1 takes out both of them.
Okay, I gotta know who voted for So Koopy and how many points are they gonna get.
Let's see. So Koopy, 23% of points bet. 4 people bet 4.2k on that. 2 people bet 14k on JD. So the wins here, as I select this, will actually go out to 4 different people.
I see So Lucky. I see Sugar Puff. They're gonna be rich. They're millionaires. Already celebrating in chat. But back to that game here. So Koopy, they didn't look so hot to start on the game. And game 1 in the series, they didn't look so good either. But now they're starting to come together as a team and just all out play and JD is falling a little bit behind.
Yeah, they really did bring it back well, and if they can just keep that momentum, from what I saw, it seemed like multiple times they ended up kind of using their teamwork to peek their opponents almost the same time from separate angles, and that was doing really well to just essentially single out one player, double team them, take them out, and then essentially that forces another 2v1 situation in the final active clone at that moment. So that was really working for them there. If they can keep doing that sort of thing, I think they might have this finals in the bag.
Now we're going to head into game number 3, but we'll be right back as we take a short break while we get it set up for you all. Game number 2, or sorry, not game number 2, already starting off that well. Game number 3, JD versus Team Sokupi. Who's going to win? Who will it be? Right now, we're 1-1 in terms of match series points. And in terms of picks, it's JD banning Tori. Jay's going to be playing Justin. Darth is going to be playing Levka. Coops on Violet. And Lucky on Jackie. So we'll see how that's going to play out here. Mr. Freeze, this game is so back and forth. I don't even know who to pick who's going to win this next one.
It's hard to say. These picks actually are identical to the very first game that we saw. So not that that's the only deciding factor, clearly, but it might lead to the fact that Team JD might have a little bit more of an upper hand this time around, just because of that. But it's hard to say. It could really go either way.
Especially since Darth, it was on Tori last game, which he doesn't have this game, and that means he's going to die just a little bit faster. And especially since he's playing Levka, if he's dead, he's not going to have as much usefulness as that Tori, who should live a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
The Violet pick, however, has been working phenomenally for the Coops. I mean, he's been rushing in with SMG, and when needed, he just pulls out that shotgun.
Yeah, and I saw him do, I believe it was a GL, if I'm remembering correctly. GL on the... No, maybe that was a previous game that we saw Violet in. I'm actually getting a little mixed up now. But yeah, Violet is definitely a very strong pick for anyone. That's why she typically gets banned. Just because of that second weapon, it just gives her so much more utility, so many more options. I really like that about her too.
So funny enough, we did see the Coops play GL over in the round robin stage, which is we've never seen. I mean, the Coops just absolutely hates that gun, but for whatever reason, it's okay in 2v2.
I think it gives a little bit more utility just because you have that second person. It gives you a little bit more utility without taking away too much DPS, especially on Violet, and then because you also have your teammate who can run a regular SMG or whatever, what have you, to give you some backup there.
And I think especially in these games, the Coops has been playing more of a support role, isn't that right?
Yeah, he stays back a little bit more. Usually plays around home. Usually plays an off angle, looking at point, playing the mid barriers, not the barriers, but the cover, the stationary cover on either side. Whereas So Lucky is the one who usually is sort of the spearhead, pushing in, putting some damage down. Though we have seen the Coops actually do that a little bit and has been successful. So
A lot of pre-fire coming in already onto the center point here. Who's going to make it towards that health pack? I believe So Lucky was able to take it, and that's going to kick Darth out of this game. Now, the Coops and So Lucky are making their push. Fly Hacker J is going to make his play to try to save the day. He's on top of the point. He took down one. Darth took a health pack from who knows where, and now he gets on top of the point for the first point going in favor of JD.
I believe Darth actually stole a home health pack on red side here. So they left that up, and that allowed Dart to resync and come in and help clean up here.
Oh, he
actually,
did. Yeah, he stole it
yeah,
from the Coops and took him down.
I didn't see that until the replay here, but yeah, DeCoops was actually going for that. Darth took it immediately and immediately killed DeCoops there. Good rush by Darth. I saw Jay pick up their home health pack and wondered if he had taken that from Darth, but some communication apparently went between them, and Darth went for the red side home base health pack.
Honestly,
And that just shows.
I would be extremely surprised. That's basically a jump scare. You're just like walking towards your home base, you get the health pack, and then suddenly Darth appears right in front of you.
Yeah, that is scary. And that just goes to show too, home health packs here on this map are very. I think they're really critical to take and utilize. We've seen multiple times someone gets taken out. The 3 middle health packs typically get rushed and basically relayed to, taken up right away for the most part. Whereas the home ones are the ones who stay around, so they can really be used when needed and saved for when needed to turn that round back around for that player. But you just got to be careful about those steals.
Now, I feel like after that first time that Darth stole that health pack away, DeCoops is going to be much more wary about it. But he'll still play around home base. He's going to try to spot out who he can. He spots out Darth's clone 3, and Darth this time is going to pick up the health pack and take down So Lucky. Now, So Lucky is probably going to go in for a health pack take on their own side, and DeCoops is going to swap in, try to help fill in the gap where So Lucky was taken down. But DeCoops is going to get taken down, and So Lucky as well. That's going to be a second point in favor of Team JD.
A pre-fire from Darth's 1 takes out Sulucky's 3. Really unfortunate. Looks like he was doing his best to hide inside the bodies there. A lot of clones on point for blue side. Sulucky's just trying to push an OT. And DeCoops here, you see him and Darth battle it out. Darth just barely gets the kill on DeCoops. If DeCoops had gotten that kill there, I think Darth's 3 actually did some damage to Sulucky's 3. Maybe it could have went to an OT there.
But I still got to hand it to So Koopy too, because the moment So Lucky died, they had the comms where the Coops filled in and just jumped right into try to be more aggressive, and then So Lucky would play more defensive and support the Coops after picking up that health pack.
Yeah, for sure. These two players, the Coops and So Lucky, they are playing really well. Darth and Jay obviously have the advantage this time around. Just in rounds right now, they have 2-0, so it's going to be hard. But the Coops and So Lucky have been playing really well. It's hard to go up against these players. It's hard to go up against Darth. Darth and Jay have been working really well together, almost as well as him and JP have been working together, to be honest.
JD 2.0 still looking very strong. We'll have to see how strong they'll be in this last loop. Darth is going to get taken down, and So Koopy, or So Lucky by himself, with 2 clones on top of the point loop number 2. Final loop. This could be the final loop of the game. And I bet it won't go into overtime. That's going to be my bet, especially with Darth getting that center point advantage here. But he does get chunked down very hard, and he's not able to put the pressure that he needed to with that center point health pack. Now, So Lucky, he does get taken down, I believe. And that health pack from Darth is going to get stolen on the enemy base, but not enough damage. So Lucky's clone 1 barely surviving.
just needs one shot. I don't know if Darth maybe couldn't shoot or had to reload or something. He didn't. I feel like he could have gotten one last shot down on that clone. Again, we saw Darth's 3 stole the home health pack of Red. I feel like Red needs to start picking that up. They need to swoop up that home health pack, even if they don't necessarily need it, to just prevent that steal, because Darth has been stealing it consistently, and I think it's kind of giving Blue an advantage. If Red's not going to utilize that home health pack, they're basically giving it away to Blue. And that can be dangerous, having a fully synced Clone 3 coming from behind when you don't expect it.
Exactly what needs to happen. But I think the Coops tried to leave that for So Lucky to pick up, but Darth just got there much sooner than So Lucky in that case.
That is possible.
You know, So Lucky, he is taking some heavy fire. He is suppressed over onto the side, but he's going to make his push. He managed to escape. They took down 1, took down 2, and now So Lucky's trying to clear off whatever's left on the point. He managed to clear off 3, but Fly Hacker J's Clone 1 still remaining on top of the point. Here comes loop number 3. Now we see Jay on top of the point, roughly around half health. Darth is full HP, and that's that Clone 1 taken down at -0 seconds. I don't know if they break the law of physics here, but in time travel loops, I don't think physics really applies in this case. But So Lucky's Clone 3 gonna push over towards the point. He's playing extremely aggressively, trying to take down whoever can. He knows exactly where Darth is, even without the Bjarn hacks. But he's still gonna get taken down. DeCoop's got to rush towards the point, but not enough time, and he clears the point, bringing it into a second overtime.
DeCoops was looking for Darth for a while, trying to spot him out, and he ended up doing it. But as he pushed up ramp, really good awareness by DeCoops to realize Darth was not getting on, and he was able to just hit that one final shot he needed on that Clone 1 to push an OT here. And yeah, I think both Darth and DeCoops are kind of staring each other down in loop 3 here. I think one of them is going to get taken out really early in this coming OT. This coming loop 3.
Whenever that happens. So Lucky. Oh, I was about to say So Lucky loop. Clone number 2 on top of the point looked scary, but he got desynced at the end there. Which I guess makes sense. Only the Clone 3s were still alive, I believe. Coop's on an all-out firefight against Jay, but he's not looking so good. But he's managing to strafe back and forth. He's able to take down Jay with the help of So Lucky, and now they're going to turn their sights to try to clear up the point. Not able to do so, but we'll have to see if they're able to do so. Loop number 3.
Kind of even on momentum, I feel like. Both players kind of have clones on point at the end there. Let's see what happens at the get-go.
Coops with Darth already on top of the point here. DeCoop's getting some heavy fire damage taken onto him here, but now he gets taken down. And with no health packs back up, that's going to be the end of the road for DeCoops. Now it's up to So Lucky to try to save the day. He's playing defensively around the barrier side on the right side for him. Around the point, he's trying to play aggro. He manages to take down Darth, but he's going to make his push towards the point. He's not able to do so, but at least his Clone 2's full HP on top of the point, along with Jay, bringing to our 3rd overtime.
Another OT. This is so close. Both players on point here. Pretty low, I believe. So Lucky did a really good job of sort of using the barricades or using the cover and zoning. He when he went up against Darth, that gunfight was so close. So Lucky escaped with like 3 HP left or something, and almost cleared up point. That was a really tight overtime.
I'm very surprised So Lucky's Clone 2 with full HP at the end of it, though.
Is it full HP? I didn't even realize that. That is weird.
Yeah. Full HP, just kind of by himself. No one really took him down or anything. Ooh, but the Clone 1 taking down that Clone 2.
That's unfortunate because you can't resync. There's no health packs up.
No health packs whatsoever. And very early into that match, you can't really take down your Clone 1 either.
Maybe potentially you can. I didn't see exactly how that happened there, but if you can take out the clone, that could be an impromptu invisibility strat.
I'm not quite sure what happened there too, but okay, let's see here. We got So Lucky's Clone 2, Jay's Clone 3 on top of the point. He could get pre-fired on. The melee comes in. He manages to land it there, but the Clone 1 and Clone 2 taken down. Looks like DeCoops was trying to save his clone, but unfortunately not enough time, and instead he just takes them both down. And that's going to put him at a huge disadvantage here. That could give Darth a little bit more of an advantage as there's less members to take down. Darth's going to take down 1, take down 2, and exactly what happened there as 3 clones on top of the point for blue side and the second game win.
Yeah, unfortunately, Darth, he tried to take out the Clone 1 right away. Couldn't do it in time. The Clone 1 destroyed his 2 right as he was basically taking out his own Clone 1. So he basically took out all of his clones but his 3 by the end of it. Unfortunate, that did definitely put less pressure on point for Red side. And as we can see, so lucky since his 3 was taken out, Decubes' 3 was really the only one on point, was cleaned up there. And that is a sweep for this game by Team JD. 2-1 in the series.
Now, a sweep doesn't mean a complete domination on one side. It has been going into overtime after overtime after overtime. Now, we'll have to
That is
see.
true.
Game number 3 is coming up, guys, and it's JD versus Sokupi, with JD leading 2-1, one more game to win the finals and the entire 2v2 tournament. But stick around, we'll be right back. game number 4, and this could be exactly as we predicted, Mr. Freeze, with Sokupi versus JD, 2-1 in favor of JD, and this will mean if JD wins this last game, they will win the entire tournament. Now, so far, in terms of picks and bans, a ban coming in for Sokupi, ban on Bjarn. Jay is going to play Levka, Darth is going to play Torre, Lucky's going to play Jackie, and Coops is going to play Violet. So basically what we saw on game number 2, I believe.
Very similar to what happened in game number 2. However, Levka and Justin were up on game number 2, whereas this time Levka and Jackie are up. So, and there was a little bit of swap between those two players as well. But Coops is on Violet again. Darth is on Tor again. So that is identical from game 2. Bajarn banned again from game 2. So I think this one, just going off the picks and what happened last time, will probably be a closer game than last one. Even last game was close in certain instances, but ultimately Team JD did come away with the sweep, did end up having point control at the end of every round. So this one, I think we're going to see a couple of red team point captures. Are they on red? No, they are on blue this time. For Decoups and So Lucky, I think they'll take a couple of rounds.
I definitely want to see it go to game 5. I think that's going to be the most exciting thing here. If this plays out exactly as it did with these picks and bans the way it did last time, we could be seeing Sokupi with a game win. And right now, loop number 1, they get that advantage.
I think if it is going to go to game 5, that game 5, I think it would. I think it would be close, but at the same time, Team JD would have the initial ban, and I think we might see the exact same thing we've seen game 1 and game 3. So I don't know. Decoups and So Lucky have a bit of a mountain to climb.
So with game 5, it's actually a little bit different. Usually they flip back and forth, but in game 5, they're going to do the coin flip again. And then it's going to be decided on who hosts, who picks, who bans from there.
Okay, so it could go really either way then.
So it depends on who the real lucky player is. But speaking of lucky here, we're watching him as he reaches his destination over on the center point here. He's using his speed slightly to his advantage as he strafes back and forth. He's trying to harass fire over onto the backside here. He manages to delete a lot of the members, which is Darth. And now Jay's the only one left, and that's going to be a very strong first point for Team Sokupi.
Sulky got taken out right away, but he was able to take it that midpoint health back there because Darth 3 didn't actually push up to take it, which surprised me. That's going to end up with Darth getting taken out by So Lucky after resyncing here, and from there, Blue just kind of cleaned up. Darth had the initial kill on So Lucky there. If he had taken that middle health pack, he would have exposed himself a little bit, but he would have stopped that resync from So Lucky and potentially survived to push on point there at the end.
I think it would have been a very risky play if he did that too, because he knew that So Lucky is just hovering, waiting for him to take it. Looks like an impromptu invisibility strat going to come out.
Yeah, So Lucky could have. I didn't have Ghost on, so I don't know how close he was standing to that health pack. So he might have just been waiting for Darth to step out of position so that way he was out of cover, so when he did take it, he could instantly laser him. But yeah, either way, good plays by Blue Team. They have momentum, I believe, coming into Loop 2 here.
The number 2, Darth, is going to play around, trying to make his push onto center point here. Decoups, what's going on? It looks like he's just... Oh, is he stuck at base? I think he's got that glitch. It's like glitch bug. Yeah, Coops crashed. Oh no. And he's stuck. Yeah, it looks like we'll have to restart the match, unfortunately, just because that does happen sometimes. Red wins, that's it, game over. No.
That is one round on Blue side, though. I believe that will stay because all players were playing at the time. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe that should stay, so we'll just let them know. So we're just getting that set up for how that game's going, but in the meantime, Sokupi did have a pretty strong play to that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean they're looking pretty good. It was very early, so it was hard to tell. Um, they did take one round there, but yeah, I'd be interested. They do have a one round advantage, so so far going better for them than the game one and game three, where they didn't end up taking any rounds, and it does sort of foreshadow a potential another game two where they end up with the win there. So could be a game five.
could be a game five. We'll have to see too, because having a bug like that happen to you could throw you off your rhythm. So there could be a little bit of a, I guess, a mental aspect that's coming into play here as well. Especially that happens on Decoups, he's pretty level headed for the most times. But I don't know, a bug happened to me in the middle of a tournament match that has a lot riding on the line is a little bit difficult to deal with.
Yeah, that's possible, but that said, it doesn't. It's not really affect anything because it was caught mid loop here, and it didn't really affect the first round. So kind of a clean slate. I don't think it'll affect his headspace too much. We'll see.
In reality, Decoups is actually, they didn't like that round, so I hate Decoups. They just told him, hey, stand still for a bit, pretend you're glitched out. But it is an
Uh,
actual bug, so it's very likely. It's that didn't happen. Don't worry. These players play very honorably. So the game is just getting set up here. So we're gonna have the exact same picks, exact same bands. 1 point is still gonna go in favor of blue side. So once the game begins, you'll see the players. They're just gonna go ahead and just play the game out until 1 point goes in favor of blue side, and then we'll see the actual game begin. The players are just, they're trying to swap. They don't know how to get to other sides. Looks like everything happening at the same time now. Lucky's game is crashing. And I've got to say, that's a little bit unusual. So far, there's been about 3 tournaments that I've been casting, and I haven't seen this bug come up in those tournaments. And I haven't seen a lot of crashes either. So it could just be an off day for the game, whatever reason.
Murph's Law, perhaps.
Murphy's Law, exactly. I gotta say, when it comes to streaming and broadcasting events, Murphy's Law applies in every single way possible. One of the first games that I had to cast for in a tournament, my mic just suddenly stopped working, and I literally tested it about 5 minutes before the game just to be extra sure. And literally, it was working fine. Game starts, and the mic doesn't work.
Yeah, and then it's just awkward. I
Yeah.
mean, I muted myself plenty of time. I already
Oh
muted
yeah.
myself once during the stream. I thought I was talking, and then I wasn't. So
I was wondering where you were for that little bit.
yeah, you remember? Yeah,
I
I
was
was
like, oh,
talking.
Mr. Freeze is quiet. Okay, I guess I'll fill in. I thought you were AFK. I think that was like 2 games ago or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I jumped in afterward. Just you know,
You played it cool.
it,
Played
it
it
was
cool.
all right. I don't think it was too noticeable, but it happens. Think things will go wrong. It's all good. Technical difficulties and all, but looks like the game is getting started now. So
Actually, this morning was also Murphy's Law, almost. I had the game just, or my whole computer just decided to skip frames without even like streaming or having anything on. So I'd be playing music, and then all of a sudden the music would just start like skipping, and it just sounds terrible. And the game started skipping too. Luckily, restarting the game is just enough to deal with everything here. But as you can see, we're already into the game. So you're going to see the players. They're just going to kind of idle around, just kind of have fun around on the map. and let the first point go in favor of Team Sokupi. And then the game will truly begin as the battle for the second point comes into play. Looks like they're kind of deciding on a fireworks party. They just want to laser around. There's the laser surprise.
Jay's trying to get the hop. That barrier, I think, actually just went straight to the ground.
Yeah, I think Jay messed that up a little bit. I wonder if it go. Yeah, you can see Jay. He's just flying around with the barricades. Let's just watch Jay try to do it again. Oh no, not able to jump it, but he's just gonna just fling it across the map. It's actually so satisfying to watch.
You can actually get those barricades up at pretty high speed with a shotgun. I think they can be pretty much as fast as a player B-hopping, actually. You hit him right.
It goes a little bit faster, and you're able to get on top, like at a higher angle too. So you get a little bit of an off angle, which you don't really expect as well. Just explosions, lasers, all around. There we go. All right. All right, guys. Now we're going to begin onto the actual game. 1-2 for this match series. And you've got 1 point in favor of Sokupi in this game. I don't know who's going to be... I don't know what kind of momentum is going to carry forward, because these players, they've shifted their momentum to more fun, and now they're going to go back into a very serious game mode here. So whoever's able to make that quick shift and mentality might have that advantage, but it might not play too big of a factor, as all these players are very well practiced.
And now it's very interesting here. You can actually see Levka. Decoups got taken out early by that health pack, and he jumps up on point and starts firing. And Levka, because he's firing, Levka actually sees him, and then Levka starts firing back. So that just goes to show, like, Levka can be pretty useful in certain situations like that.
On top of the point here, we can see Darth able to clear out quite a lot, leaving 3 clones for Team JD on top of the point here. Not looking too well for Sokupi this time around, and without any bugs of the Coops getting stuck. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, so we don't have to restart. We'll have to see how that carries on to the next match here, but Jay taking some heavy fire from across the map over from Decoups. Decoups is going to change his position, actually. It looks like he wants to support So Lucky, as he did get taken down. He's trying to take down Darth, but that's easier said than done. Now both players are going to make their push onto the point. So Lucky is able to survive and get on top of the point, but Decoups get taken down. But we're going into overtime against 4 surviving clones for Team JD.
Solgi was taken out really early at midpoint there, and Darth actually beat him to the health pack, but he was able to resync and push that OT there, because I think both Darth and Jay were more concentrated on Decoups.
Now Decoups able to land some great shots onto Darth from across the map and put some significant pressure. Jay, being so little health until that matchup here, basically made it a 2v1. And Red Team has so many players on top of the point.
They are able to escape, though, because it's not too... there's no real angles onto that point if you're respawning. Lucky for them.
I feel like So Lucky's Clone 3 might have a different story when it comes to loop number 3, though. Oh, but So Koopy. 4 members on top of the point now.
Both sides have 1 Clone 3 on point.
So Lucky has much more health than Jay's Clone 3. Who's going to be able to take each other out? That's 1 clone taken down, but not the Clone 3. But this time around, Jay's going to get desynced with no health packs up. It's going to be 2v1 against Darth. However, Darth does have full HP, so Lucky and Decoops are going to try to make their push, and they're putting heavy pressure. They do spot out Darth here, but So Lucky gets chunked down pretty low, but they are able to secure that victory for the second point.
Really good pressure on Darth there. Taking out Jay early meant that it was a 2v1 situation if they played their cards right, and that's exactly what they did. They regrouped, so Lucky went back, and they pushed Darth at the same time. Darth was playing cover, trying to get some damage down on past clones to shift the tide of momentum here, but couldn't quite do it enough there. His shield absorbed a lot of bullets until the very end, where he was finally taken out there. And Blue captured it with 4. Not unsubstantial, and they have 2 rounds up.
Now,
This is looking like it might be a sweep from Decoops and So Lucky.
I think so too. Now, I think if they're in that last loop in the overtime, if there was anybody that could have done it in a 2v1 scenario, it was Darth, especially playing Torre with that damage reduction ability. But I think it's just there was so much to focus on, so many clones. You only have so many bullets in your magazine. Loop number 2, however, we can see Jay already pre-firing down the center point here, playing a little bit defensively. Also Lucky here, but Decoops with the grenade launcher here, providing some covering fire, just zoning out whatever he can. And I feel like that's going to be a huge play coming into that next loop. Darth coming from the back. They didn't quite see him, but they're able to spot him out just in time to take him out. And the 2 clone 2s for Sokupi survive on top of the point.
Red team was able to put some decent damage down, though, on Blue. Both clones at half health. I don't know.
Place your bets now, chat. Who do you think is going to win this out? Oh, an explosion coming in. I think it's Decoops that got exploded on. And so Lucky able to pick up the health pack over on the center point here. Decoops should be back up at this point. But Jay's getting taken down. Not enough time for him to get the health pack here. They've got to kill that last clone here on top of the point. But they couldn't finish the job. It's going to go to overtime.
You can see actually Darth and Decoops decide not to take out each other on their clone 3s because I know it's more beneficial to leave them alive. Both those clone 3s are going to be extremely low, one shot. There is a health pack left up at home base, but this could come down to sort of a 1v1 at the very end here.
What's going to be scary later on is, aside from Sokupi getting on top of the point loop number 1 for the advantage, Decoops pre-fired that health pack quite a lot.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make if a red team can make use of it, or maybe even blue team steals it. Be interested to see the plays around that health pack.
Now that clone 2 already, Decoops is going to get taken down, so Lucky might not fare so well. He does have little to no health. Oh, but Decoops is going to steal the health pack over on the enemy side, and now he's just trying to make a break back home for it. He wants to play more defensively because he could get taken out by Darth and Jay, but Decoops is going to spot out Darth. Darth does get taken down. Decoops is managing to survive, but not for that much longer, but still managing to apply a lot of pressure.
That's interesting. Decoops didn't really even fire at all. He just, like you said, concentrated on getting away to try and keep his clone alive and put some pressure on point with his remaining HP.
Gonna get taken down. Darth 3 gets taken down right away. Decoops' clone 3 is still alive. Now we can see So Lucky is still alive here, but Decoops' clone 2 is going to pick up the health pack, and they're doing some significant damage onto Jay. Now it's going to be up to So Lucky's clone 3 to finish the job. He's able to get some significant pre-fire and shots down. He takes down Jay. All he's got to do is clear that last clone. They're able to do so, and that's going to bring us into game number 5 for the finals.
All 3 rounds going to Decoops and So Lucky here. We can see Decoops' rush on the health pack with his 2 actually did keep that health pack from falling into Darth's hands as his 3 was taken out super early. Really good play by Decoops there. And yeah, So Lucky just played very solidly in loop 3. Both Decoops and Darth were out of the play at that point. Just 1v1 against Jay. Ended up getting the kill on that clone 3 and cleaned up, I think it was Darth's 1 at the very end.
That was pretty crazy. I mean, holy comebacks. Am I right? Like, there was Team JD was just looking so strong at the beginning, and then all of a sudden Sokupi just kicked into overdrive even after getting hit with that lock-in loop number 2 bug that came up for Decoops.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the picks have almost been sort of deciding the game in a way. It's like depending on the which players get to play which champions or characters. it's kind of almost gone in completely different directions. It's very interesting.
And now we'll take a short break as we go into the finals. But if you're enjoying today's content, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to check out our social media pages in the links below in the panel section, or you can also see them on screen on the bottom left corner. Big shout out to today's sponsors, Level GG and Quantum League. Level GG is the tournament hosting platform that we're using to host our games with all the tools you need. And Quantum League, of course, the game you all know and love. A big shout out to both those sponsors. And guys, we'll be right back, so stick around and enjoy some tunes. We've finally reached the finals in a best of 5 match, and for the first time, it's going to game number 5, and I'm able to pick my most favorite scene to pick. 2-2 in match series. So Koopy getting 2 points, JD getting 2 points, and this is going to be the most hyped match that we've got in this game, in this tournament. Now, right now, we've got JD banning Torre. Jay's going to play with Justin. Darth is going to play on Levka. Lucky is going to play on Jackie. And Koops is going to play Violet. Very similar to what we've been seeing in these last few games.
Yes, I believe that is identical to game 1 and game 3. So, if that has anything to say about it, then I guess Darth and Jay are the ones that are most likely to come out with the win here. Um, but I don't know. It's interesting to see. I don't really know exactly what it is that is shifting these. It's actually, I think it was mentioned too that the host as well. That probably does play a little bit of a part with Darth hosting here. They have whoever has been hosting has been the one who have kind of end up winning. But I think the picks and bans also have a little bit to go into it as well. Just the changing characters seem to be changing the formula a bit between these two teams and the outcomes.
We're just gonna get the game started in just a few moments. We had a slight mishap where somebody decided to not start the game or not join the game. Not gonna name any names, but it was me.
Starts with an S.
It was me, and the game started without me. But the game, oh man, this is so exciting. I love to see when games go into the absolute last possible way for these games to play. Best of 3, best of 5, and it goes to the final game.
It really brings it to like a peak culmination of just edge of your seat sort of intense gameplay when it comes down like if it's not going to the last final game, then whoever ends up winning, it's like they didn't have as much pressure on them, or it's just not as like edge of your seat, it's not coming down to the final moments, so having this game 5 in the finals is definitely, I don't think it's even something that we've really seen too recently, because most of the time I feel like the finals have kind of gone in favor as far as rounds go, one side or the other, if my memory is correct.
Now, one actual potential factor or a big factor in this game is, just as Karambo's pointing out in chat, when whoever hosts a game, it bases off of where they're at, and the servers kind of calibrate to where that player's location is. And in this game, Darth, being the only member playing in EU, somewhere in Europe, and everyone else in North America, actually gives them a huge advantage in these games. There's a slight ping delay for everyone else in this game.
It does, and that can definitely change things here, and maybe has been a decent factor as far as the way like the games have been going.
That could actually be maybe the reason why these players have been looking so good in some of the other games here. I believe whenever they win, Darth is the one that's been hosting the games. If I may be mistaken on that, but it might
We'll
not
see if
be.
that changes here.
Yeah, it might not be the most determining factor. I mean, these players still, it really comes down to strategy and aim, but every little bit helps, especially when it comes to ping. Final loop, So Lucky trying to rush towards center point, but Darth is able to make it much way before him, but still, So Lucky able to get the advantage and take down Darth. Meanwhile, the Koops is supporting his So Lucky over on center point. So Lucky's trying to rush, I believe, back to his health pack. He's able to pick it up, not get on top of the point, but is able to finish the job and get the first point for So Koopy.
Already changing the expected outcome here, based off the picks and just the hosting. Previously, going off the past 2 games, it's been like this. It's been a full sweep as far as Darth and JD's team all arounds here. So Decrypts and So Lucky have picked up a round off of them, which shows that I think the formula's changed a little bit. I think it's going to be closer this game, and both players on red team did a good job of kind of double teaming Darth, took him out early. So Lucky raced back and took the home health pack before Darth could potentially get to it. So I think they're playing smart. They're playing really well, and their execution just aligned pretty well that round. This time around, though, it looks like Blue's going to start off with the advantage in loop 1.
Now, So Koopy have been doing phenomenal in terms of rotations. When someone dies, they just kind of swap in here, and they've just been so on top of that with all those communications. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear So Lucky saying, "Hey, I'm dead, leave home health pack for me," and the Coop just immediately switches in. Meanwhile, over in the center point here, Jay does get desynced by Decoops in a one-on-one battle. So Decoops and So Lucky are going to have the advantage coming in, try to take down Darth, and Darth is going to get taken down. Darth's not able to finish the job, so that's 2 clone 2s for So Koopy on top of the point with another advantage.
definitely turned around from loop 1 to loop 2. Red now has loop 2 advantage on point as we move into loop 3.
As usual, the Coops and Jay are going to be playing over at home base here. We can see one Clone 3 already taken down, which is Darth. Now, Darth, that home health pack is still available. No, all home health packs are back up or taken down. Darth is able to pick it up and get back into the action, but he's not able to finish the Coops, but he's not on point.
Oh, no. Barely not on point, just a hair away. It looked like he might have been, but I guess he's just barely not on. To Coops, as you see here, the home path picks up, and it looks like... Wait, where did Darth resync?
Darth Racing's back at that.
Oh, at his home health pack.
His
I
home
see,
health
I see.
pack. And that play just saved the day. Look at the Coops. It looks like he's on, but he's so close. He's about an extra step away, maybe about a half second into getting onto the point, but unfortunately, this game decided not enough time, and the Coops wasn't able to get on point.
Can't sleep on his home health packs.
The home health packs has really made a determining factor in this game, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it can be very, if you use it correctly, it can be really a critical turning point, I think. Allowing you to get that second life, because the middle health packs are so contested. It's really not a guarantee that you're going to really be able to resync, or that it's even going to stay that way in future time loops.
And especially with the way that these players have been playing. They've been playing extremely aggressive, and then to basically eliminating that punishment of playing too aggressive by picking up those health packs and then trying to make another play after that. But speaking of plays here, the Coops of Clone 1 sidestepping Jay. Jay not able to finish those last two clones. They're so close to getting taken out. And I'm scared on how this final loop is going to play out here. We can see Darth already rushing towards the center point against So Lucky, but So Lucky is able to get there in time, get the health pack up, but Darth is able to take him down even after picking up the health pack up. But it looks like Darth wants to try to steal the health pack away from So Lucky. He manages to do so here. Now it's the Coops and So Lucky. Actually, the So Lucky managed to pick up the health pack back at his home base, and that's going to be a second point coming in for So Koopy, bringing him one step closer to the fight, or finishing the game.
This has been really close here. Both Darth went around for his health pack, but right after he took it, Decoups just kind of had his eye on him, and he lasered him right as he peeks up here. Decoups just on left side of the barrier, left side or red side at least. Well played by Decoups. So Lucky. I didn't see how Jay ended up getting taken out at the end by third loop there, but it's looking like, man, this is going to be really close.
Already 2 clone 1s getting taken down, or the same clone 1 getting taken down, which is, I believe, Darth. And it looks like the name of the game for So Koopy has just been focus down Darth and then try to take down Jay.
I think really too what they're doing. I mean, they're probably focusing Darth a little bit more just because his aim is, he's host. He's got the ping advantage. His aim is crazy. But just playing together, peeking a single player at the same time, I've noticed they've been doing that pretty well here. Not to say that Darth and Jay haven't. Jay has been doing really good backing up Darth, and Darth has been doing the same thing with Jay. But I feel like in certain decisive moments, I've noticed that So Lucky and Decoups have kind of gotten their simultaneous peak a little bit more, just a little bit more consistently.
And this is where the game could be decided, ladies and gentlemen. We've got one more point to go for So Koopy to win it here. So Lucky is going to rush over to the center point here. He manages to not steal the health pack away from Darth. Darth is going to take it in this case here. Now So Lucky has to rush back to his own home base to get back into the action. Meanwhile, Darth is wreaking havoc onto the enemy side. He spots out So Lucky again. He takes him down. The Coops is going to rush over to the point, and this time around, it's going to be JD getting the point, bringing us again to the very end of this finals match.
It's coming down to the last round. The last round in the game best of 5.
A literal winner-take-all scenario.
And you can see here, Darth actually, when he jumped out around onto red side there, he got the offense with So Lucky. So Lucky didn't know he was behind him, gets taken out because of that. Well played by Darth there. Man.
This game is so electric. I can only imagine the adrenaline, the maybe slight anxiety some of these players are feeling. It's neck to neck. Those players have been making all the plays that they want. And it's been so close.
This is for all the marbles.
All the marbles. Mr. Freeze, I gotta ask, what is the crowd favoring in this round?
The crowd, very largely favoring JD in points total, but it's 2 people betting against 2 people, so.
So, sort of 50-50, but in terms of
Sort of.
points, more favor to JD. Oh, man, this is coming down to the wire. The Coops is able to get the advantage in loop number 2, but it could honestly go either way. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Spam your emotes in chat. PogChamp here for SoCoopy and Kappa Face for JD. So Lucky is going to rush and pick up the health pack here, but he gets desynced anyways. Now he's going to run back to base here. It's Jay is going to play defense over on his own base. The Coops is going to already play aggressively over onto the center point here. Darth manages to spot him out here and take him down. This could be it. This is going to be the finals again in favor of JD in an amazing fight back in this story, ending it in their favor.
Really, really, really close. So Lucky got the health pack on mid, but he got taken out by Darth. And even though Darth got taken out by Decoops as Decoops turned around, he was able to beat So Lucky back to the home health pack of red. And that home health pack again becomes so critical because after he takes it, he's able to take out Decoops from behind, stop him from cleaning up any clones, put any damage down on his teammates' clones like Jay. And it well played there, and it's just yeah, the momentum just shifted into Blue's team, Blue's side at that moment, and that was a deciding factor.
My goodness, these two teams just so back and forth, and I honestly feel so bad for SoCoopy because they put their heart out for it, and unfortunately for them, JD just was a few steps ahead and took him down at the very last play.
They did really well though. The red team, they are so lucky into Coops. They brought it really close, almost took the victory. I feel like that was possibly one of the closest 2v2 finals we've seen so far.
I gotta say that's the closest possible game that we've seen in tournament play so
Possibly,
far.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my highlight game of the day. It's just those two players. If I had to pick an MVP, I would have to say for the winning team, it's gonna be Darth. And for the losing team, So Lucky. Both players just dictating the pace of this game with that center pass.